Hello and welcome back to another episode of What the Clams. I have a returning guest. I've got Calvin back on today.
Was this for me now?
Yeah. Oh.
I'm not a frequent guest here, so you're gonna have to give me a little bit of grace here.
So I know we've been talking about this prior to doing like the actual recording. We've been kind of messaging back and forth about this for quite some time. I think it's I don't know where to put it. I think it's high time to discuss it. It is obviously very fucking topical right now. Is the Epstein files, dude. Like point blank, with this podcast being about like recovery, and recovery can also be from like healing from like trauma and shit. That goes fucking hand in hand with this because, like I was telling you, I know you've actually read some of the files. You sent me the links. I haven't dug deep into it, but I got into the rabbit hole last night of just watching other people digging through it. And my God, dude, I was watching Dr. G, and the part he brought up was the part that I don't know, dude. That shit blew me away when he's talking about beef jerky. So he's saying like at first you're like, okay, maybe this guy has a really weird obsession with high-end jerky. That could be a possibility. But then the way he starts using it is at first I was thinking maybe he's talking about young girls. I don't think so. I think he's talking about some form of drug that he's using in lieu of all this shit. Like he uses it in some form of either getting people to stay. Either he's drugging the girls or he's drugging the people that are going to have these relations with these girls so he can blackmail them. That's truly what I think.
It's all code, yeah.
It's all code.
All code, like the pizza, the grape soda, the beef jerky. So on the jerky thing, when you were talking about that, was it Epstein talking to?
It's him talking to like multiple other people. Some of them are redacted, some of them are not.
Huh.
I'd have to go back and watch and see what the names were because they didn't pop to me. I didn't know who they were, but obviously, pretty much everyone he's talking to is a powerful person. So
yeah, you scroll through those emails, and it's like talking about Apple Watches or whether it be beef jerky or pizza. Like I was looking at some files, and I was going through that. I think it's called jmail.world.
Yeah.
You'll have to check that out after this if you haven't checked that out.
Yeah.
Like somebody created like a forum.
Yeah, you sent that to me. I kind of opened it and was like, holy shit, this is crazy.
Yeah, you get his junk mail, you get all his email. You basically get like a fucking couple 100,000 emails on there. And there's one where he's talking to his urologist about his like Viagra prescription.
Yeah.
And they were talking about how when he takes his Viagra prescription, he needs to call him right away. And then after he takes his Viagra prescription, that they need to go out and get pizza and grape soda. You're like, you're talking to your fucking urologist about Viagra, and then they say you need to go get pizza after.
Yeah, see, and they did something similar to that with like, it was like when you get, he was like, oh, so and so doesn't like the beef jerky batch from redacted, and then he's like, well, I still have some other beef jerky left over from the batch from this other guy, and he's like, I have 6 pounds of jerky in the freezer. It'll tie me over.
What the fuck,
you don't
dude?
keep beef jerky in the fucking freezer. That's where, you know what I mean? That's the whole point of jerky, is that it's shelf stable. Like, you know what I mean? What?
Maybe he just likes jerky, dude. You never know, dude.
Yes.
No, well, yeah, the whole thing just fucking blows my mind.
And, okay, the way he talks to himself when he emails himself,
Yeah.
those are fucking weird. Like, he just sends like little blurts of things. And, like, he talks about extortion. Like, he's just saying extortion, bury something on the hill, like bury on hillside. And then he fucking typos everything. Like everything has like, instead of a E, it's a fucking the equal sign.
Weird. I haven't noticed that.
The thing is, when you're going through this, and some of it makes absolutely no fucking sense.
I think that's what they're shooting for, though. They're trying to like confuse the reader.
And I think what it is, though, within that, though, I think there's a code, like 100%. So we know there's code words. There has to be code words, like you said, grape soda, pizza, jerky. There has to be some form of code where some of those, I almost want to say like those typo parts, it's either to, this means this, like when he throws that in there, it actually means something else. And it's like, hey, take this letter. It's like, you got to like decipher it. Or like the other guy, I think it was Dr. G was saying, it was, he's purposely making it not make sense. So he, like, and typoing it because, oh no, I didn't mean that. I meant this. So he can obscure it. And it's on purpose because he's very tactful about how he does things.
Yeah. Well, it's like as time goes on, people catch on to that code. Then he starts throwing other shit into the mix, and then he can start confusing it. And then if they try to build a pattern out of what he's doing with this code.
Well, fuck, man, I'll even, as a fucking former drug dealer, I fucking would use code. I would throw in, like, hey, this is what this means. And, like, You get your typical fucking dumb ones like, oh, is the grass green? Like, obviously, people know what the fuck that means.
Shit.
But then you start, like, we even did the same shit when we were underage drinking, dude. Like, at Pleasant View, we used fucking the name Kevin for vodka. Like, hey, you gonna hang out with Kevin after school? Nah, man, I'm fucking tired of hanging out with that guy because you're fucking tired of drinking vodka. Like,
Like a parent fucking reads one of the kids' messages.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, because we got in trouble for talking about openly going and partying in school, and the teacher to get on to us, which is funny. I actually ran into Brian at CC and was talking to him. I was walking by, about to go down the stairs, and I seen Brian. He was one of our fucking, he was a former teacher at the school we went to, and I'm like, Brian? And he looks, and he's like, holy crap, like, how you been? He's like, what are you, like, 47 now? What are you, 108?
He was a principal. Is he working there at CC now? Oh, no shit.
Yeah, Barb's back at Mac High.
Oh, yeah. No, I think I sent you a fucking picture
Yeah.
that I saw of her, and I was like, she's going to one of my kids' school.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty crazy. I think she was living in, like, Hood River or something when she was teaching us.
No, she was over Lowell.
Oh, no shit.
They might have another house over there because her husband does. He's fucking cool shit too. I don't know what he does, but he travels a lot. And he's like, so some of the kids are like his stepkids, and he's like, well, I can't have their fucking dad have something cooler than me. So like, their dad bought like a 65-inch TV, so he bought like an 80-inch TV, just to be like, fuck you.
That's fucking.
He had all these video games when we were watching their house for him. I remember specifically it was Red Dead Undead Nightmare, like the zombie version of it was unopened. And we're like, bro, can we play this? And he was like, you can have it. And we're like, what? Like, all right. Cool. But no, so we had these code words and stuff. So I'm sitting here watching these videos and reading this stuff, and I'm like, dude, this is fucking code. And when I'm seeing all these like crazy mixed up mumbo jumbo messages, it's like, like when a serial killer, when they leave a note, and it's like, they'll have certain letters that are like, every time I use this word, you need to look for the third letter in this word and shit like that. It's that. It's totally that. Like there's something with the weird typos, or those typos are to throw you off from the other code that he's got going on. There's a system to it. And like we were talking about before, I think we owe fucking Alex Jones an apology because I think that he was fucking right, dude. With all this, he was batshit fucking crazy. Don't get me wrong. The way he fucking would present this shit, he's fucking kind of nuts, But he was doing that to get attention,
Draw attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would say certain things that were outrageous, and he would like knowing that they're true. He would it was almost like he would purposely make them more outrageous than they were.
Yeah.
And then they'd be like, "This guy's fucking crazy." So they'd be able to discount him at the same time, but at the same time, it would amplify his fucking voice.
Yeah,
so,
and I also think that was like his play, is because if they can discredit him, they're not going to opt him.
Right.
Because, this guy's an idiot, He doesn't know how to present it, but he's getting it out there to more people, because more people are going to be like, you see what this crazy motherfucker's saying?
No, but there's been a lot of stuff lately with him where he's been, like, agreeable to, like, the status quo.
Yeah.
And you're like, and you saw the shit that he went through with the Sandy Hook stuff, where he got sued for $1 billion.
Yep.
Basically, everything that he ever made and everything he makes in the future basically goes towards these lawsuits. And it's just like, did they get you, man? Like some of the stuff he's been saying. He was talking about Candace the other day and all the stuff that Candace has been talking about with Charlie Kirk and Israel and France and all those people being involved. And he basically said, Candace, you can't be saying these outrageous things online. We care about you. And it's like, you're saying this to her, So it's like,
it kind of makes you start wondering, like, shit, like he's kind of warning, like you're gonna get fucking blackballed or killed, like I did.
Either that or they got him. I don't know, man. Because somebody that's in that much financial ruin, I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, it's possible for anything, but the Epstein shit is dark.
And the other thing is too. So Ian Carroll, if you ever fucking come across this, I want to fucking sit down. Like Calvin and I want to sit down with you, dude. So I was going through his page yesterday, and the things he was talking about with Joe Rogan, and then going in and watching some of his own videos. I wanted to watch one of them. I really wanted to, but I was like, bro, it's 10 o'clock at night, and this is fucking 3 hours long. I'm not watching this whole live stream. But the shit, he ties a lot of things together with, it goes back to, and this is why fucking even saying this is scary because of how everything is. A lot of things tie back to the Israeli government, dude. And it's fucking scary because even saying this, now I'm going to become a goddamn target.
Right.
But it really does seem like it goes back.
Or they'll just make you look like a fucking lunatic too, and then they don't have to worry about killing you.
Hopefully. His name's Clams. Who the fuck cares what that idiot says? His name's plural.
No, it's fucking scary. It makes you wonder, like, when you look back to, like, 9/11, and you look back to, like, where all this shit started. Like, 9/11, like, prior to 9/11, like, Israel had interests in us staying in the Middle Eastern wars. We weren't going to, and then 9/11 happens, and boom, we're there because they can't survive if we're not supporting them in the Middle East.
Dude. And then so like you say, like 9/11, the Charlie Kirk thing. There's another one I'm fucking been trying to figure. I'm trying to remember this whole time I'm sitting here because there's another one in between there that was. Oh, I know what it was. It's the CISPA thing. I truly think that a lot of that plays into it. Those are like small. Those are pieces to the bigger puzzle. The CISPA thing. So when that was passed, where they were able to have more control over what we're searching online, like it was a bill that was up there, like how much should they have access to for our search engine or search history for them to be able to market to you what they're seeing and shit like that. And it passed. The reason it passed, well, I truly feel like it was because it was blurred, like not a lot of people were paying attention because of the fucking Boston Marathon massacre, where they fucking set that bomb off. And that's what always seems to happen. There's always something major gonna happen, and something else is a diversion. We saw that happen in this fucking tiny town we live in. The fucking gang supposedly lit fucking the Napa building on fire, and to draw the police's attention away from where they were going to do an arson, they lit a garbage can on the other end of town on fire behind a building. So like, oh shit. Yeah, they're like, oh shit, we got to stop this fucking garbage fire so it doesn't burn down. I think it was like a dumpster. So it doesn't burn down this fucking establishment while they were burning down another establishment.
No, it's always a thing, and they always have intelligence. These things are going to happen too. There was intelligence that the Boston bombing
was going to happen.
They let it happen. It's almost like they were like, oh, how can we use this to our benefit? Just let it happen. Same thing with 9/11. There was intelligence from like Germany, Israel, all sorts of different
other people being like, hey, heads up.
They gave us intelligence that was going to happen. Alex Jones predicted it to a T, that they were going to go after the World Trade Center. They were going to use somebody like an Osama bin Laden. They were going to use planes. So it's like, and that's not a conspiracy. You can go back and watch the video of him like talking about that verbatim, that all these things are going to happen in July of 2001.
Yeah.
So it's like everybody knows these things are going to happen. They let them happen. So 9/11, they got the fucking Patriot Act out of that, where basically they can go after
whoever.
Yeah, basically. But I mean, and then like you said, the Boston bombing massacre, where they fucking the CISPA thing, or
yeah.
So it's like however they can use it to their benefit. But the fucking sickest part of all of it is the Epstein thing, and it makes you wonder where all that came from. Because it's like you look back to Jeffrey Epstein, and like in his early 20s, he was a fucking math and physics teacher.
And the thing is too is like he lied to get into, was it Brown? He lied, saying that he had his fucking diploma or degree in something, and he got into school. And then they questioned him on it, and he was like, "Oh, well, the reason I lied is because I didn't," or like he got into another job. It was somewhere on Wall Street, and they're like, "Why did you lie to us about having this fucking degree?" And he's like, "Well, I didn't want them to find out about the lie. I wanted to tell you." And like, he's just really good at schmoozing people. He's just good at silver tongue and being able to fucking lie his way through shit. But it's like he was like, how does somebody who's just a fucking fraud just walk through all these paths in life to get to a point where, like we were talking about earlier, he got to a point where he got into arms dealing and was working with some of the most powerful arms dealers. And some of them, like I can't remember his name, so don't quote me on that part, but he was well known for having this yacht, and it would be fucking just wired to the teeth, where he has cameras and mics everywhere, and he would give whoever's doing deals with whatever they wanted, if it was drugs or food or women, and then he would fucking blackmail them. And that was like his thing. So look at the things he learned, where he came from, the path he went, and the things he would be around to learn these things. I don't think that it was by accident. I think it was by design.
Yeah, well, like whether it be our intelligence or foreign intelligence, because you can always point to, CIA involvement or Mossad involvement.
Yeah.
And you look at some of the people that he crossed paths with. I think it was like, he's like Leslie Wexner or whatever his name is. He was the Victoria's Secret, Abercrombie and Finch, and a couple other companies, but he was the head of these companies. Yep. And that's like where Epstein got his start in like the financial world, where you look at that, and he was like embezzling from him, taking properties. He had power of attorney over him, so he was like signing properties into his name while he was working for him and doing shady shit. So you look at that guy, and you don't see a whole lot of shady activity. You just see like maybe he hired the wrong guy. Obviously, he had no fucking experience, so it's like, how'd you get in there anyways? But then upon that and getting
Wexler also got popped off for doing really fucking he was like gay and had like a really big thing for fucking young, hot dudes, younger dudes.
Who do you think exposed that?
And that's what he was like doing though. It's like he'd bring these like Abercrombie and Finch models and shit and like pay them off. Like, hey, I'll make you famous, but I'm gonna fuck you. You know, like it goes so deep and it always turns back to some weird kink. Almost everything. It's money and kinks, dude.
Yeah. Well, Wexner, he came out and like said that Epstein was doing these things and taking properties, embezzling him, and then that stuff comes out. So
Yeah.
it was like a blackmail ploy.
Yep.
But then like after he gets done working with him, that's when he meets the fucking Maxwell, Gillian Maxwell, or whatever the fuck her name is,
Yeah.
and her dad was like involved in Israeli intelligence.
He met him first. He crossed paths with him first, and that's how he ends up crossing paths with her. Dude, so that's how I actually got on to watching Dr. G yesterday. So it was 2016. There's a video of her talking to police or whatever, and then there's a video of this year of her talking to the court system, and a lot of people are saying like that's not her. So like I said, this guy is a psychologist and he's also a body language expert, and he's breaking down how like she has like almost like a lisp when she says S's. Like there's a certain like a distinct way she talks, and she has a certain rhythm, like a rhythm to her speaking. And if it was a double or someone else acting like her, it's almost impossible to consistently hit those. You know what I mean? Like for me, there's certain things like when I say it because I'm missing that fucking tooth, it makes that kind of like there's a noise it makes, and it'd be really fucking hard for somebody to double that. Instantly, you might be able to get away with it for a couple of sentences, but
yeah, I mean it would make sense that they find somebody to put away in her place, basically. It's the same thing with Epstein. Like, a lot of people think he's still alive.
Well, dude, yeah, because he goes into how it doesn't make sense for him to have been suspended, how they're saying he was suspended.
Yeah. Well, did you see that fucking video they released? The Department of Justice released a video that was supposedly a video of him in his cell leading up to his suicide. And it was, like, clearly, like, very clearly AI. Like, the colors basically, like, blend with the floor of the things that he's tying together to create his own noose. And they released this and said here's video proof of him basically killing himself.
But how is it video proof but they didn't have fucking access to the whole goddamn corridor?
No, it's fucking weird. The whole thing is like,
yeah, they had no video for L tier, and what they said was L tier. Someone had fucked with the video, and it was showing like the front desk, like it was showing like the fucking.
Well, they were forced to come out after all the backlash of everybody being like, "This is so fake. I can't even believe you released this." And then they basically said, "Yeah, it was a fake video. They got mixed in with the files, and we never said it was real. We just released it with the files, and it was like basically a simulation of what had happened, and that was in the files."
So they're just trying to create like a decoy. We're not going to say it's real, but if they take it,
yeah, it was like we're going to release it, and then if the public takes it, then we're going to run with it. But if they don't, they're going to be like, oh, that was a simulation.
I don't know how that got in there.
Yeah, I don't know how that got in there.
Dude, that's like some fucking kid getting caught with fucking like a nudie mag and being like, no, mom, it's not mine. I'm holding it for somebody.
Yeah, pretty much. But it just makes you wonder because it's like multiple governments. I mean, so like the first, it's not even like it's Democrats, it's Republicans. So like
it's everybody.
Republicans are pointing at Democrats because Biden held the files for 4 years, but now Democrats are pointing at Trump because Trump has the files now and he was associated with them. So clearly he's a pedophile is what they're trying to say. But then the first back in like 2008 when he had his first trial for when he was accused in like the civil suits in like Palm Beach area. That was during George Bush's administration. So you got George Bush intertwined with this. Then you got
Bill Clinton,
Barack Obama. Well, Bill Clinton was intertwined with him, but the first trials and like basically when he had been exposed, like the governments that have had this in their possession, it's been 4 governments now.
Yeah.
It's like
4 fucking different terms. Different presidents. Because, dude, and the other thing too that was really fucking weird, I thought, was when I think that was Dr. No, I think it was Ian Carroll was talking about. I think that what the fuck is Trump's wife? Why am I?
Melania.
Yeah, I think she got trafficked.
Probably. Well,
and I think that's part of the reason why, because Trump did, like when they were like, we want these files, he was like, at first he couldn't get it out, they didn't go out. But then eventually, when they're like, we need this out, he was like the first one. Like everybody else was saying no. And he was like, fucking give it to him.
Yeah. The whole time. Like, I mean, the past 4 years, it's been him, Donald Trump Jr. release the fucking files, and then they get in and they're like, whoa.
And knowing that he's in it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. See, I mean,
But here's the other thing. Epstein was holding conferences, like big conferences for like the best scientists in the world. Like everybody's like, oh my God, Stephen Hawking.
Did you see the shit he was into? Stephen Hawking? Yeah, it's fucking weird. But
like,
no, continue.
But like they're saying, some of these people, like that were there, that there was no proof of them doing anything weird, how else do you make a perfect cover? Hey, I'm going to hold these really extravagant conferences and provide all this food and bring you guys together so we can do some great things for really fucking like these motherfuckers are dirty, but I'm going to cover them up by bringing these other motherfuckers in who aren't dirty, their colleagues. I mean, like, oh, well, you're not going to rat him out because if they did see something or hear about something, well, you're here too. Now you're tied into it.
Yeah.
It's guilty by association.
Yeah. They've done that to a lot of people. Like, Chris Tucker?
Yeah.
Chris Tucker's in the files, but Chris Tucker, so like there was basically they were doing a fundraiser in Africa. Bill Clinton was after he got out of office, and he was doing this fundraiser in Africa, and he didn't have the logistics to get to travel like he did when he was president, obviously. Epstein lent him his plane for all this travel for this fundraiser in Africa, and Chris Tucker and a few other celebrities got involved.
And went with it.
Flew on the Lolita Express to go to this because they needed, celebrity influence to go prop up these fundraisers. And then and then now you see, that's all you see though. All you see is Chris Tucker's in the files. You don't see why, you don't see what his association is. And it's like, I fucking love Chris Tucker.
Yeah, dude, because there's some people that you're like, oh my God, because at first, that's another one they were bringing up in the files I was definitely Dr. G, I was watching that part on, was Tom Hanks. And at first you're like, okay, it just says Tom Hanks. Like, there are certain people that were coming over for like dinners and shit. And like, hey, you're not too far from here. You should come over. Okay, there's nothing. But then you start seeing his name pop up a bunch of other fucking times. That's what I was going to bring about the beef jerky thing. He does that thing. He goes, if you go into the files and you do like a word search, you should bring it up. You know how many times beef jerky comes up?
How many?
388 times.
Holy shit.
What did you say? So he really likes beef.
You should type in pizza on that. I haven't tried that yet.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that's fucking nuts, dude. Like, it's obviously fucking code. Like, you could be like, hey, I'm going to do a beef jerky page. Like, I really like beef jerky. But dude, you're not going to fucking say it that. It's like you saying Chex Mix that one weekend.
Yeah.
You said it like probably 100 times.
I don't know why, but
that was like, it was like an ongoing thing for that time frame.
I was on the island.
Yeah, Chex Mix? Yeah. Oh, shit.
No, that's like the Steve Bannon thing I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Steve Bannon, he's always been, as far as like my politics go, always on my side of the aisle. Then you see him, and there's an email where he's not him, but an associate of him is talking to Epstein, and Epstein's saying that he got 5 free Apple Watches from a promo that Apple was doing, and they sent them to him, and he was like, I got 5 free Apple Watches. He's like, I want to give 4 of these Apple Watches to you guys, and they start talking about Apple Watches, and then it's like, make sure when Steve gets his Apple Watch that you call me, and like, there's just all the weird shit they were talking about with these Apple Watches.
Yeah, and it's like,
are not talking about Apple Watches.
No, you're talking about fucking little girls.
So yeah, it was like Apple Watch was code for something, and that just kind of like, yeah, certain people that you're starting to see involved in these things. And you want to know who's not in the Epstein files that damn well should be? Michael Jackson.
Yeah, dude.
So if you've been following that lately, where like Michael Jackson and like a lot of people's opinion is like being vindicated as possibly a good guy, and maybe he was trying to expose something, and that's why his doctor fucking drugged him.
I was going to see that theory. A lot of people are like, he actually made Neverland Ranches like he wanted kids to be safe, and he was trying to protect them from going into that.
Yeah.
Like, dude, that's a crazy theory.
That's a whole other rabbit hole, and it's a hard pill for me to swallow because, I mean, I've seen Leaving Neverland, the documentary, and like some of the shit those kids talked about. And those kids all have like documented history of like when they would go to Neverland and who they were and like how they were associated with them, and like they had the whole story, and they had video and documents and checks that were paid to their families, and so like all that shit was there to like make it legit. But then you're like, man, were they trying to like smear this guy? Because like,
yeah, because I mean, think about it. If you just took somebody and like, hey, I'm going to give you a shit ton of money to slander somebody, I mean, it's not hard for them to go back in and create these. You can falsify shit. I'm not saying that they did. I want to go on the record and say that. I'm not saying they did, but if you're keeping an open mind and being like, fuck, what if it was the other way around? I mean, it's like that fucking show, Once Upon a Time, and like in that, it's actually like, because Captain Hook's always the bad guy and Peter Pan's fighting him, but like in that show, Peter Pan's like a fucking child rapist and Captain Hook's trying to stop him. So it's like, what if you flip the script? What if you're looking at it the wrong way? What if your perception has been skewed?
Yeah,
And
it shatters your whole fucking reality.
Yeah, because then you're like, fuck, I don't know what to believe. What the fuck's real?
So then you want to start going back and looking at certain things, and that's kind of what I've been doing lately. I've been going down rabbit hole after rabbit hole.
And you need fucking all seem to start intertwining, and that's where you're like, fuck, dude. Like, okay, the one that really got me though is, and I like how you said it. It's some fucking crazy shit that this shit happens with an American citizen and like the Virgin Islands, which are fucking, isn't that part of like that's like one of our territories or whatever?
Yeah.
So why have we not done shit and like delayed this for so long? But Prince Andrew gets arrested on his 66th birthday. Like they do something.
Yeah.
The UK does something before we do.
That's what I was saying. And this is kind of an exclusive for you because I don't usually criticize Donald Trump. And this is where I break with him is these Epstein files. And for the record, I don't believe he's in the Epstein files, and I think there's darkness in there that none of us could comprehend, and that might be why he's not releasing. But anyways, with England making an arrest in the Epstein files before America does, that's fucking embarrassing.
Yeah,
it's embarrassing.
It makes us look like we're covering something up.
The fact that they can make an arrest, so obviously there's wrongdoing in there because our government right now is telling us that Epstein's trafficking was solely for himself. All the documents include child porn. That's why we're not releasing the documents because we don't want child porn to see. And obviously I don't want child porn to see, but I think there's more than that in there.
Yeah.
The fact that they can make a fucking arrest of a prince before we can arrest fucking
some celebrity.
Yeah, some celebrity. Like it's embarrassing.
But we can fucking out Shia LaBeouf for his fucking.
Yeah.
You know, we can out Shia LaBeouf because he has an addiction issue. You know, fuck that guy. He's just a drug piece of shit. But the guys that are fucking raping little children on this goddamn island, they don't go to jail. That's fucking crazy.
Because but unlike Shia LaBeouf, his thing isn't tied to a fucking a spider web of shit that could topple governments and like Fortune 500 companies. So it's like you have
It's the value of what is that term I just? It was the other day I heard it. I was like, I'm gonna fucking use that, and I can't remember it. It's like the value of assets, but it's like how valuable someone is to the downfall of something. I can't fuck. I'll come back to that. I'll leave it in the comments when I remember it.
What do you think would be the repercussions if we did just release the Epstein? Like, what do you think? What do you think the world would look like?
I think the world will look like the elites are fucking, like we've all been being lied to, that everything is fucking, we are being played against ourselves, like the society is played against each other so that they can do this nasty, horrible shit behind the scenes and hold a thumb down on anybody that's trying to expose them. And there's all these things where people are talking about like, fuck, Ashley was just telling me something, like there's a movie that had as an actress in it, and they're like, fuck, it's pretty much saying like all this shit that's happening, and they pretty much make a movie like, if this was happening, this is what it would look like. It's like, are they actually putting it out there? Like, when a serial killer like taunts the police, and then like they want the police to know that they're smarter than them.
Basically, yeah.
And it's like, are they doing that same thing with these fucking disgusting, horrific things people have done? And they're like putting it out there, and they're like, look, they're so stupid they don't even see it right in front of their face.
Right.
Because, I mean, think about it. If you're trying to find something, you lose something, and you're trying to find it, where's the best place to hide something? Right in front of somebody. Because you're not going to be looking in the easy. And when it's right in front of your face, that's when I feel like it's always the hardest to see.
Yeah. It's been in everybody's faces for fucking years. I mean,
decades.
Epstein, somebody was doing it before he was.
And that's what I was going to bring up too. He's not the first. He's just the next.
Yeah. We're in a generation of like technology now where like these things are exposed, and private journalists are, because before the 2000s, probably prior to like 2010, I would say, is like where like corporate media like ruled.
Control everything because nothing could get out without filtering through them.
So now it's like you have all these private journalists, and that's where like majority of people are going nowadays. Like nobody's watching fucking Fox News unless you're like grandma, and nobody's watching CNN unless it's some psycho liberal, or versus like majority of like sane, level-headed citizens are getting their info from like.
They're getting it from, and that's the other thing too, is we have multiple sources to be able to base our own opinion on. It's not just this one news site, and that's your sources that they go head to head. But now you have like people that are truly out there like, I don't believe them and I don't believe them, or I believe them and I believe them. It could be vice versa. They're just trying to put out the truth. So things have come almost like full circle again. It's kind of like if you think about it, like just kind of a tangent, but it's similar to the like streaming aspect. We used to have TV, and you just watch the TV channels that you had on your TV package.
You got what you got.
And now
Yeah.
you come out with the fucking streaming sites. So now you gotta fucking have a subscription to this to watch this show, a subscription to this to watch this show. All these different for me to watch fucking the pay-per-views. If anybody from the WWE hears this, fuck you. Dead ass, fuck you. I am fucking pissed. Why is it that fucking anywhere else in the world, Canada, Mexico, fucking Ireland, you can watch the WWE pay-per-views, or PLEs as they call them, premium live events, on fucking Netflix. But if I were to watch it in America, I'd have to pay fucking $30 a month, where the fuck it is, for ESPN Plus.
It's just
Fuck you.
It's just like any other category in the world. We supplement everything for the rest of the world.
But it's like that.
Yeah.
So you have to have all these subscriptions, but now you're starting to see this company is buying out this company, or these companies are partnering together. It's coming together through another massive television channel now.
That's like when you see all these big acquisitions like Warner Brothers and all
Yes.
that shit. Like, that's a bad thing. We don't want that happening.
Everything is coming together. It's monopolizing. Everything is coming. Like, you got all these things spread out, and everything's, it's like congealing together again. And that's kind of how it was for news source. Like, before it's like the opposite, I guess. It was like you get a bunch of freelance stuff like way back in the day, and then major fucking media gets a hold of it, and the corporate media, and they start filtering through what they want you to get out, or like, no, we shouldn't say it like that, you need to say it like this, and editing it and restricting it. Now we have all these technological advancements, and people don't have to go through these major sites. People are getting their sources from other people just like themselves, like just out on the street, like, hey, I've done my research, I've done these facts, like this is where I got this source. And I truly think that that's where a lot of this stuff is being exposed, because they don't have the hold over it as well.
Yeah. No, that's the thing, is like, prior to Epstein, you would have never fucking knew.
No.
If the news didn't tell it to you, it didn't happen.
And that's the other thing too, is like, we've known this forever. The news doesn't show us good things. You only see the fucking bad things. And that's an easy way to keep you fucking distracted from what's really going on.
Like this whole ICE war in Minneapolis that's going on right now.
Dude, it's fucking nuts.
Total distraction from what's actually the point is we're not getting the Epstein files.
Yeah.
Is
the fucking thing is too about it is like, so a lot of people, I've been kind of quiet about this whole thing, but this is how I feel about that whole, about ICE. Do I think, so people are pointing all these fingers saying that like, Trump just fucking racist and this and that. Obama, Biden, Clinton. I think that was Biden before his actual, like, when he got presidency. It was like back when he was running before. But still, Hillary Clinton, Obama, they even fucking said we have an immigrant problem.
Yeah.
They were fucking throwing that shit out there years ago.
Bill Clinton was hardcore.
Yes.
Bill Clinton, I fucking don't like the Clintons, but he was probably one of the better presidents as far as like economy status of our lifetime.
Well, dude, honestly, as much I don't want to say it, George Bush's shit, even though there was all that bad shit that happened during that, there's a lot of things that were good to happen for our economy.
Yeah, well, yeah.
In the beginning parts of the early part of the years, before it got into a fucking war, there was like, dude, we were starting to really make economic advancements.
Yeah, if we could have, if he could have kept Daddy out of this politics, George Bush Jr. would have been good. If Dick Cheney wasn't there, overseeing everything.
George W. was fucking. You can't tell me that wasn't fucking. Oh my God! I was watching a stand-up, and this girl was like, somebody was trying to ask me like, what really gets me off, and she's like, you know what gets, like, what's like real good porn for me? You remember when that guy threw that shoe at George W. and he fucking dodged it, and they were like, he's like, no. She's like, I can get after that fucking 1,000 times a day. I'm like, what the fuck?
Do you remember the fucking Harold and Kumar go to Guantanamo Bay when they had George Bush at the end, and they're smoking weed with it?
Fuck my dad.
Dick Cheney walks in, he's like, oh shit, it's Cheney. That guy scares the shit out of me. That is accurate, dude. Because that guy, the Cheneys are fucking terrifying. They're scary, dude. Like I said, if he could have kept Cheney out of his politics, it'd be a little bit better.
Is he the one that fucking shot that guy with her?
He shot a dude in the fucking face.
Yeah. Shotgun.
And he just nothing happened. I saw a meme the other day. It was like fucking all these politicians involved with Israel and wars in the Middle East because they had blackmail on it, but not Dick Cheney. He did that shit for the love of the game. Hell yeah, dude, that was fucking good. No, it's just a deep dark hole, bro.
Yeah.
So,
And I truly think, like, like, I remember when we were like fucking 15, 16, like there was the whole like the Illuminati fucking
yeah,
big thing, like right before Anonymous became a thing, like during that phase.
I fucking forgot about them.
Dude,
Fucking anonymous people.
I honestly think that when we were talking about the Illuminati, what we are seeing now, that was the Illuminati.
Yeah.
It's these fucking powerful people pulling crazy fucking strings, doing horrible fucking things. That lady in Mexico, dude. Did you see that? That Mexican politician lady.
What about which one?
She comes out of this building and she's frantic. Like, I want to say she's like a senator type level of fucking politician in Mexico. And she's like screaming in Spanish, like, they eat babies. They fucking do human sacrifices. These people are fucking monsters. I've seen it. Like, they're going to kill me.
I think I saw that.
And then she just disappears. No one's seen her. There's no
talk.
death. There's no fucking body. There's nothing.
If she was just a crazy person, they would have just let her
just be crazy. But she knew too much.
It's like, when they fucking start disappearing, you're like,
that's a fucking. I need to start. Since we're going to do episodes like this, I need to start writing down facts. So when I say it, like,
yeah.
But you can look this up. Like, just look up, like Mexico politician, like female politician, fucking ranting about, elites. It comes up, dude. I remember Hobo was the one that showed me it, and I'm like, oh my god. Like, he sent the video to me, and I was like, holy shit. Huh. And like it.
I'll have to check it out, dude.
There's so much, and it just doesn't stop. Like, I'm saying, too, when I said, like, I truly believe that, like, even the fucking, so, like, JFK, like, yeah, I do believe that fucking, oh, my God, now I'm going to go fucking, what the fuck's his name? Lyndon B. Johnson. I do believe that, yeah, he might have been the one who was like, hey, get rid of this motherfucker. But the thing is, I think that there was a bigger, that's a small piece of a bigger puzzle again.
Yeah.
Same with Diana. I really think that these people are going to expose what if she knew about some of these fucking horrible fucking things with the other print,
Yeah.
Well, like Prince Andrew getting fucking arrested. What if she knew about some of this shit and she's going to expose it because she's like, you guys are sick fucks.
Well, Prince Andrew was her brother-in-law.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she probably knew some shit.
Yeah.
And then when it all went down with Prince Andrew and they originally like tried to indict him and they did these civil suits, the Queen buried it, dude.
Yeah.
Like all of it. And everybody talks about the Queen, how she's this fucking. That bitch,
dude. So I have a friend who served in the British Army. He lives in fucking in Wales. I fucking love that guy, dude, Derek, man. And he's like, dude, he's like, I served for the Queen, he's like, I did. He's like, she might have done some fucking scary thing, but she's gangster about it. Yeah. Like, she wasn't like, oh, we shouldn't do this. She's like, no, end that. I mean, fucking nip that in the ass, end it. She was cut fucking throat, and like, so we've never had a female president, and everybody's always made that like argument, like, what if they're going through their fucking, because one day they're gonna be like go to war, and the next day they're gonna be like crying and wanna, they made the sexist fucking things like that. That bitch fucking shows that, like, dude, she fucking was like, fuck that, kill him, end it. Diana, kill her.
She was, yeah.
She put that hit out. She put that hit out because it's gonna make her family look like shit.
Oh yeah, no that.
She killed that bitch.
She killed her. LBJ killed fucking JFK.
And then, like, Israel fucking killed Kirk, and I think it all plays into a focal point.
Yeah, it all comes back together at some point. I don't know about, I guess the Princess Diana thing would tie back into the Epstein thing, which would obviously loop back around to Mossad intelligence with every single road leads back to Israel.
And then I think with JFK even, I think that, like, the Kennedys, because it was him, RFK, JFK, RFK,
yeah.
They get fucking popped. I think that they knew about what other presidents and not necessarily presidents, but like other high-powered politicians and shit were involved in.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts. Name me a family that has worse fucking luck than the Kennedys.
Besides the Baldwins?
I think the Kennedys still got it.
I think the Kennedys still got it, but the Baldwins are a solid second.
Because you got JFK, and he was trying to do some good things. That was probably the last day, and Bobby Kennedy Sr. would probably be the last time I would have ever voted Democrat, and out of any candidate, out of all of them. But you look at some of the stuff he was trying to do and trying to get himself, get the U.S. out of the fucking Vietnam War, and LBJ was very pro-war, and probably he had, in the private sector, had investments in the war machine, basically. So it has him off, and then Bobby Kennedy Senior tries to run for president. Maybe he knows some shit.
Yeah.
And he was fucking, set to win by like a landslide, and they fucking popped him in a fucking, it's like every time. And then Jack Kennedy, He fucking dies in a plane crash when he was running against Hillary Clinton for what was that New York seat that she was running for?
Yeah.
I don't know everything.
There's a lot of shit, dude. You're like, I think that they fucking, they made that motherfucker go down. I don't know, man. Like, I know it's gonna sound like we're just a bunch of conspiracy theorists, but as the years have gone on, from when we were fucking like 15, the crazy conspiracies that we all were like, that's fucking nuts. What if that is true? And then you get to a point where I thought we outgrew it for a bit. We're like, okay, we got better things to focus on, bigger things to focus on in our personal lives. Like, we gotta take care of our kids and fucking getting jobs and working. And then we start kind of slowing back down where things kind of like, okay, we're adults now. We kind of got our footing. We might have, like me, ups and downs and shit. But we get to a part where we kind of calm down, and then things start being exposed, and I kind of feel like, for me personally, I feel like my inner like kid is like, I fucking knew it.
I fucking told you. Well,
fucking knew it.
Things you can't. It's like, and that's the sad part. Is like you can't be a successful member of society if you're peddling these conspiracies, because none of them are. I mean, unless you're like the Alex Jones, the exceptions, where these guys peddle experience and make millions. But like you focus yourself on these conspiracies and like how society's just a shithole and nothing matters, and so you can't be successful and you can't provide for your family. So most of us just ignore it.
Yeah.
And then that's where we end up in these fucking situations where we just let it go, because anybody that tries to do anything or tries to talk about certain things, they either end up dead if they end up onto something, or discredited and their life gets destroyed, or just all of it. It's fucking ridiculous.
Crazy, dude. And that's so before we were talking about, like when we went to study sociology, how I was saying, I want to see how that, like, as a society, how we later on, like the results of the Kirk assassination. Okay. Well, now I'm also thinking, like, I want to know how and what happens from the Epstein files being released, because I don't think anything's going to even come of it.
No.
Like, they're going to just, why is no one being held accountable?
That's why I asked the question before of like what you think the world would look like if they actually did release it all.
I think we really would see that we're.
Well, I think we would, but I think as like a society, we would crumble.
Yeah. And I think fucking straight up anarchy would ensue.
It would, and it would. I mean, when you think about, that's where I give a little bit of grace to Trump or whoever, or Biden or whoever holds the Epstein files, because like if you do release these, you're the president that's overseeing the death of
the country,
and you're going to go down in history as president who was in office when the country died.
And then the other thing is too is like it probably goes even bigger than our country.
Yeah,
it goes into international fucking warfare, because Yeah, well,
that's what I was saying. Like international, so you release these files and you expose all these people and you expose all these companies and you expose all this bullshit. So like you expose all these world leaders, so countries start to collapse, and you expose these massive corporations, the stock market crashes, everything comes tumbling down, and the whole world basically goes into anarchy.
And then what happens at that point? You start having like other powers that we are, in a sense, keeping at bay. You have Russia. Okay, I'm about to rabbit hole off onto that. Have you seen what's happening in Russia and Ukraine?
Like,
they're using drones for warfare, right?
Yeah.
But okay, how do we stop these drones from coming in and fucking us up? So they started making these scrambler things, and it fucking, it fucks with them. So how do you stop that? You hardwire them. There is hundreds and hundreds of thousands of miles of fiber optic cable all over the fucking place.
Out there in Ukraine, Russia is what you're talking about?
Yeah. They're strapping a little fucking fiber optic cable to a fucking drone and sending it out, because it's hardwired. It can go past those scramblers because it's not running off that Wi-Fi essentially.
Yeah.
And once they use it, it just drops the fucking cable, and now you just got cables. There's videos, dude, of these guys collecting up just hundreds of thousands of fucking feet of cable, dude.
Dude, I have not seen that.
You gotta look at it. It's fucking insane.
There's so much to focus on. It's like hard to like catch these important details.
Dude, somebody else was talking about on another podcast. Shout out to fucking butterflies or ninjas or butterflies. They're talking about on there, like, one of their guests was like, what if it's not even like a big, like, what if in reality they're like making that country like more rich? Because at the end of it, like, that's a lot of raw minerals that you're dropping in these cables now. Like somebody's just out there with a big ass rake, and they're just like, hell yeah! Like, imagine crackheads over there. They're running around staring copper and fucking catalytic converters out of cars, shit, dude. These motherfuckers just be walking on the street, and they be doing a public service.
That's fucking crazy.
We just need to send the crackheads here to Russia.
Dude, maybe we should go to Russia. It would not end well for us.
No, not at all.
That's
I thought that was very, because bring up, like, Russia, if we start, our economy crumbles, what happens to our fucking military at that point? People are going to start getting divided in there. Who the fuck's leading us? No one believes anybody. People are going to be more focused on what's happening with their family at home than going and serving for their country. Then you're gonna open yourself up from attack from China, Russia, and if these places, what if fucking North Korea and fucking China, what if they Red Dawn it?
Yeah.
If they power together while we got weak,
that's what I'm saying, dude. So it's like, because we talk about these things, we talk about how Biden should have released it or Trump should have released it.
Maybe they were doing a good thing by not releasing it because it's so bad.
That's the sad part, though, is like there's no justice for
the people that did it.
For the people that did it and people that were victims, because we're all scared that our reality is going to shatter.
Yeah.
So it's like everybody's making a trade of comfort for zero justice.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is.
It's like a question of like your morals and your values.
Yeah.
And it's fucking crazy to think that that's what they hold on the line. And like we're saying, I think Epstein is the fall guy. Like, it's bigger than him.
He was definitely involved in
it. He's the scapegoat, though.
Yeah.
It's like all focus at him, but it's like, we're going to allow you to walk. That's why, going back to those things like saying, like, he walked through these stages of life having no credentials to get into these positions, but think that they were there was some force that allowed him to do this.
Yeah.
Like, I think that he played the part, I think that they had to find the right guy, but what the fuck does the CIA do? They find the right motherfucker for this fucked up job, because how do you control somebody? You find somebody that's already fucked up, you exploit their fucking, I'm not gonna lie, I had a real big thing with fucking doing fucking coke, dude. If you fucking, somebody was like, I'm gonna make it where you can fly around the country, you can fucking do as much blow as you want, and no one's ever gonna catch you. Hell yeah, brother.
What am I gonna do?
And then they get you in there, and then they're like, okay, now it's time to pay your fucking dues. You gotta start doing some fucking crooked shit.
It's fucked up, dude.
It's horrible.
Well, and it's these intelligence agencies that like we as taxpayers fund.
Yeah.
So it's like we fund them. So it's like we fund these agencies, and it's not even our intelligence agency. It's like Israeli intelligence. We give them like $6 billion a year to spy on us.
And how much fucking money did we just send them over the last,
When the initial attack took place, so they got like a little over $14 billion we sent them, but yearly we supplement them like $4 to $6 billion.
Oh, we've been giving them fucking jets.
Yeah. It's fucked up.
So, like, that's another thing. Ninjas and Butterflies, thank you again. They were talking about, we gave them a bunch of F-15s, which are not the most up-to-date. Like, they're like 4 generations back of these fighter jets. But they can carry the biggest payload. And they're the only other country in the world that has a, X-35, which is, the top of the line, the best. And we took all of our sanctions off of it. So they could put, anything that we were like, hey, this is what we built, they get it. They don't have any of our technology for our weapons or warheads and shit. But they have full access to do whatever they want. Pretty much, it's like we give it to them for a demo. Like, you fuck with it and let us know what happens. It's very suspicious. So why would you give somebody else your best weapon?
Their Iron Dome. Have you seen their Iron Dome?
Yeah.
They have their missiles. We built that.
Yeah. We built it.
100%.
100%, dude.
Not like gave them a little bit of funding. We funded it. We built it.
Yeah.
For them.
Yeah.
So it's like all this money, and their GDP per year is I think it's $55 billion, which is peanuts. So when you think about the fact that we give them nearly $6 billion,
that's a big chunk.
We're funding a good portion of their GDP, and they spy on us basically. They use our money and they spy on us. Like Tucker Carlson, he did an interview with Ted Cruz.
Goddamn
Zodiac killer.
Zodiac killer, dude.
You need to watch that interview because it is one of the most provocative interviews that you'll ever see Tucker Carlson do. He fucking annihilated Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz is he basically says his sole mission to get elected into the Senate was so that he could protect Israeli interests. It's like, you're a Texas senator, you should be protecting the interest of your constituents.
Texas has the reputation of being the most they're fucking this is America. Texas kind of has a well-known.
He's awful, dude. Ted Cruz is. I wouldn't be surprised if he was the fucking Zodiac killer.
Zodiac killer, I'm convinced.
But no, he was talking to Ted Cruz, and he was basically talking about how Israel spies on our people and blackmails our people.
Yeah.
And then Ted Cruz is like, well, we do that to them. And he was like, dude, does Israel give us any money?
Yeah.
It's like,
how is that a fair trade?
so it's like so it's okay for us to give them $6 billion a year, but they spy on us. You're okay with that? He's like, he just keeps going back to, well, we do it to each other. It's in each other's interest to spy on each other. I was like, I don't think somebody that we should be funding should be spying on our people and blackmailing our politicians.
Yeah, you should be allies.
It's fucking.
I don't see your fucking UK over here. Fucking, you know what I mean? They're just pretty much like, hey, they'll call us the fuck out in the UN and be like, you need to calm the fuck down.
Well, their prime minister, fucking Netanyahu, that guy's a cunt. He's on trial right now, and it's probably going to take a few years, but he's probably going to get like 10 years in prison by the time this is, because he's got fraud and all this other crazy shit that he's going through, and he's basically on trial. But that guy, it's like one of our greatest allies, supposedly.
Yeah.
It's like,
I don't know, man. It goes so deep, and it really makes you question, like, what the fuck is reality? I remember being in school, like, saying, like, it almost feels like, especially after 9/11, almost feels like we're like the new age fucking Nazi, dude. We are the self-righteous ones, and we're going to show up and do whatever the fuck we want because that's what we see is right. And originally it was portrayed to us as like, if there is wrong, like we're like Superman, like we're going to do what's right. But are we really doing what's right? Or are we doing what's in the best interest of us?
Have you ever watched, it's kind of a weird segue, but have you ever watched the TV series on Amazon Prime? It's called The Boys.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, exactly.
Is reality.
Yeah.
You watch these, like, you watch the...
have you watched the spin-off of it?
I haven't watched the yet.
Generation B? Huh. You got to watch it, dude, because they're coming back with a new season of The Boys, and Generation B, dude, it explains it really fucking well. And like, at first you're like, okay, it's just a spinoff. No. It's like, it's the next generation. It's like Generation Z, but it's their they'll play on that. But Starlight shows up in it. They're talking about fucking Homelander, and it leads up to what's going to happen in the next season of The Boys. It's fucking good, dude.
That series though, for me, like when you watch like the Avengers and like all these superheroes, they have all these crazy powers and they do all this good with it. But The Boys shows like what you would actually see.
What the fuck's the goddamn Aquaman, dude? He's like a fucking raping dolphins and shit.
Like they would be into some sick shit and they would do and take whatever the fuck they want. And that's what fucking Homelander does. And like that for me though is like,
dude, and he's like
the nail on the
head. Dude, they fucking break down Homelander. Like the whole mommy aspect of like he whips the tit out and it's like, dude, it's like what the fuck? Dude,
such a good show.
It's such a good show. The very first fucking scene, girlfriend just explodes.
Oh, for fucking A-Train.
Yeah, dude, like holy shit.
I recommend anybody watch that show, and that'll give you like a real life experience of what a superhero would actually be.
Fuck yeah, dude. I honestly feel like that's what these fucking super elites feel like they are.
They are, yeah.
That's what they fucking feel like, and they're like, I can do whatever the fuck I want. Because I make the rules. It's like Roddy Piper used to say, just when you think you have the answers, I change the question. Like, that's, dude, like, it's scary. You think about it like, oh, that's a great fucking promo on 80s wrestling. But you take it into fucking reality and you're like, that's what they're doing to us. Mm-hmm. Like, we're starting to look at, we're like, okay, now I got the answer to this. You're fucking 3 steps behind. Like, you're looking over here, but I'm over here, dumbass.
I'm fucking playing 4D chess and you're playing checkers.
Yeah, dude.
It's like,
you're playing tic-tac-toe.
It's fucked up society we live in, and it's been a weird year for me because, like I said, I've always been a huge Trump guy.
Yeah.
But like I was telling you yesterday, Epstein and the Charlie Kirk investigation are like 2 non-negotiables for me. So like when I see both of those squandered,
it starts making you question.
It pisses me off, and it starts making you question certain things. And when the fucking Israel attack first happened, like and they like Hamas came in and attacked Israel, like I'll admit, like I was like, fucking go in and gun it, kill them all, dude. Yeah. Like, no, and then you start looking into some of like the history of Israel, and you start looking at, you're like, okay, you look at how there's possibly a stand down order from Israel while this Hamas attack was taking place, and basically is the Israeli government let Hamas come in and kill these people to make them look like victims.
And it doesn't just kind of remind you of 9/11?
It does, yeah, a little bit. Reminds you of a couple things, and one of them I won't talk about, but yeah. Anyways. A little dark for this podcast.
But it just, I don't know, man. There's a lot of this shit that I feel like it's coming to light. And I think that what we're going to have to do, honestly, in future sight is we're going to have to run this back and, give it a month or two. We'll run this back on this particular topic, the two of us. And we're going to see more. Like, I honestly would like to bring on fucking Hobo, too. I'd like to get you and Hobo on together because Hobo, I've read thousands of them. And fucking Tanner has like, he's like, I kept them on a device so that way I can fucking make sure that if some of this shit goes down, or like, because there's things that have been redacted that are gone now. They're not redacted; they're completely gone. Like there's a picture of like a bag of jerky on something, and that's just gone now. Why is that gone? That's weird. Why would that be gone? If it's just a bag of jerky, if there's nothing that actually like, oh shit, there's something hidden within that photo, why would you take it away?
It's fucking.
That's weird, dude. And that's the thing. You only know that you don't know if that's everything.
Yeah.
And what they give you is it could just be a scratch of the surface of what's like. Because dude, you can have, let's say like there's 30,000 text messages you send to somebody, but then there's like 4 that really that's it. Like that's the meat of the whole subject.
Well, you see certain things like you see a photo come out and you see it and you don't think anything of it, and then like 6 months go by and like other things come to light
and you're like, oh shit,
I got to go back to that, and you go back to that, and it's gone.
Yeah, context, dude.
So like in the Charlie Kirk investigation, for instance, so like what he was shot with the 30-06,
mm-hmm.
in the soft tissue of his neck, there should have been an exit wound.
Yes,
0 exit wound, because they actually have they released footage of him from behind now. There's no exit wound. Where I'm going.
And there's no blood behind him. There would be blood behind him.
No blood behind him. So where I'm going with this is originally they released pictures of the bullets that were engraved. Remember how they released pictures of the bullets that were engraved with like, hey, fascist, catch? And so like,
if you're reading this, you're gay.
If you're reading this, you're gay. And you saw these pictures. Did you ever see the pictures of the bullets? Because I know I did.
Yeah.
I can't find them now.
What?
Yeah. So like,
I saw that.
So I can't find these pictures.
There's fucking videos of them talking about it. Like he was taunting us with these bullets, and like
we're going back to these bullets now because we're like, okay, what gun was he shot with? So we want to figure out like what bullets were used and the caliber and all that. And you want to go back and look at these bullets, and you can't fucking see what they are because like, and now people are questioning it because if that gun wasn't used, then this kid wasn't the shooter.
Yeah,
because this is his gun, and he threw this gun. He deconstructed it on the roof. He reconstructed it and threw it in the bush. Like that's what they said.
Yeah, it makes no sense why you would do that.
So it's like if he didn't use the gun, and there's all these conspiracies pointing to all these random people, and it doesn't even have to be that dark. It could just be that it was somebody else. But why are they lying about who shot him?
And like we were talking about earlier, we know that fucking the Israeli government used, I can't remember who it was they offed, but they used fucking exploding pagers.
Yeah.
They had projectiles in them. His mic fucking jumps a weird way and hits him in the throat at a weird angle.
Like I said, you take that video and you slow-mo it, before a wound appears in his neck as you're slow-moing that video, his mic shoots off his shirt. And that's not conspiracy. Anybody that wants to look that, take that video and slow-mo it yourself and watch that fucking mic on his shirt and watch the wound on his neck open. And even if you get shot right here, how are you going to create enough force on the other side of your chest for a mic to shoot in the air, bounce off the fucking roof? You're like, okay, so
if anything, it's going to go forward because you're going to go back.
You're going to go forward, and then you watch his whole shirt. He gets shot right here. It doesn't even touch his shirt anywhere, and his whole entire shirt comes up and fucking bounces down.
I don't know about you guys, but I've watched a shit ton of videos back in the day on like that'sfuck.com of people getting shot. And they're wearing shirts, and they're getting hit with all sorts of different rounds, and their shirt doesn't jump. It just, you get hit. The only way the shirt moves is when the body, it's reacting to what the body does, not to the bullet. Because they're trying to say the speed of the bullet would make the no, it fucking wouldn't.
But you watch his body, and like he gets shot, and he doesn't flinch. His hand tenses up, and he like slowly goes down to the left. You don't watch him like move.
Yeah, he kind of jolts.
There was I never believed this because it's not really a tangible theory, but there was an electrocution theory. And obviously, like, where do you get a wound if you have been electrocuted? But the way that he looks when he falls, he definitely looks like he's being electrocuted but obviously you probably would when you got shot, like all your muscles would tense up, but I don't fucking know. The way that he tensed up just looked fucking like somebody who's being electrocuted when he falls down. So I was like, maybe that's, but like, how do you explain the wound if you're electrocuted? Like you're creating a conspiracy where you have to have 2 actions to make this thing look legit.
I mean, but at the same time, we watch Jackass and they fucking zap the fuck out of people in a chair.
Yeah, but they didn't have a exploding neck at the same time.
Yeah, but if you have a projectile hit him and you're trying to make a distraction from, like, why would his body do that from this thing? If you're trying to do that and then zap him at the same time.
But why would you do both?
To make his body do something different from reaction of what that thing was. It's weird.
Yeah, we talked about Baron Coleman a little bit earlier. That was Baron Coleman when he first came out and started talking about Charlie Kirk. That was his first theory, electrocution. He was the one that came with the electrocution theory. But I'm just like, I love you, man.
I think that's a little out there. I get what they're coming at with the whole thing because like I've seen people when they get, but I've also seen people get hit and then their body it stops.
Yeah.
And it goes limp and then falls. But I have seen it's like when you get knocked out. He tenses like when you get knocked out. That's weird.
Same thing. But if you get shot in the neck and you're having all of the blood from your brain removed basically immediately, you're gonna pass out within seconds. All that blood coming out of your brain and no blood flow to your brain from your jugular.
It's just weird.
Why is there no exit wound if you're shot with a fucking 30-06?
There would be a fucking exit wound.
I've been watching videos of dudes copying the same trajectory, the same distance, the same weapon, and they're like obliterating fucking like concrete walls and skulls behind them and shit.
Yeah.
And it's just like, but Charlie Kirk's neck, the turning point people, they came out and said Charlie was just really healthy and he drank a lot of milk. So he was basically like Superman.
Goddamn.
His neck could stop bullets.
Drank a lot of milk.
Yeah, you're just like, no, he didn't. But, so you see all these lies and you're like, man. But basically where I started with the whole fucking Charlie Kirk thing was that how you were talking about how pictures just disappear.
Yeah.
And it's just like those bullets disappearing pissed me off because I know I've seen it's kind of like the Mandela effect.
It's a Mandela
like,
effect.
You know you saw that shit. It's like fucking Fruit of the Loom didn't have a fucking...
The cornucopia.
Yes,
it did. Fuck it did. And it was the Bernstein Bears. I don't give a fuck. They were... Why the fuck they had a Jewish name? I don't know. Maybe that's why they wanted to get rid of it because...
Yeah.
Anti-Semitic or whatever the fuck they call it? I don't know. But them fucking bears were Jewish.
There's so many of those Mandela effect things.
The Israeli bears.
The Israeli bears. I feel very sorry for them.
For sure. All right, man. Well, I'm fucking glad you came over. I'm glad we got to do another one of these. Like I said, I would definitely like to do another one. I want to do more with you anyway, but I definitely want to come back to this topic in more time when more comes out and more people get to analyze stuff because there's so much to consume and to analyze. It's fucking insane.
Yeah. No, well, to do like a kind of a multi-source interview, like you were talking, like maybe bring Lane on and bring somebody else. It'd be awesome to bring somebody with difference of opinion.
Yeah, I would definitely think I'm gonna kind of reach around and talk to some of my friends and stuff like that and see. I'd like to have somebody who is completely
Switzerland, like just has no.
Somebody has no American ties and
no nothing. Like a just doesn't have any skin in the game either way. I hate both sides.
Yeah.
Type of situation.
Yeah.
Would be good.
Yeah, dude, we'll fucking run this back. Yeah, man. Like I said, thank you for coming over, and we'll fucking do this again soon.
All right, Dan.